I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the need to lead through a vibration and not via information alone, and how important it is for the stage of development that our planet is going through at the moment. Leading through a vibration is so much more transformative, so much more powerful than leading by information, because information is not what essentially creates the transformation. A vibration is the one that embodies the transformation. So when it comes to sharing things with people out there in the world, your audience, the people you're serving, those who you want to pass a message to, I want to urge you to not just think in terms of the information you have gathered about the particular topic that you're interested in. I want you to think about, how have I been transformed by the very things I want to talk to people about? Can I lead with that energy? Can I lead with that vibration? And can I lead from what came out of my embodiment of the message I'm sharing? This is so important, guys, because at an age where we are going through information overload, leading by vibration and leading by embodiment, it is so much more impactful and makes it so much easier for people to cut through the variety of information pouring through, to say, hey, this is the kind of person I want to be working with, transforming from, I want to be following, I want to be hearing from, and this is the kind of, there's something there. You create a portal for a person. Information, as vital as it can be, essentially, there's a lot more processes that need to take place for that information to be valuable. And it's so easy at the time of scrolling through a ton of stuff that we see through the internet. We need to be able to cut through to the essence of things a lot more. Vibrational leadership does that. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about in relation to vibrational leadership, particularly I was thinking about the 3 particular vibrational roles that we seem to connect the most with, that seem to stand out for me the most at the moment. So we have our vibrational leaders, those who are essentially stepped into the journey of becoming their own authority, really stepping into their sovereignty, really allow themselves to be transformed by the very tools they've used, by their own journey to their inner being, to their core being, through their shadow work, through the spiritual tools, through the psychological tools, enough so that, although we're never a finished result, that they've seen they've had the alchemical process of distillation, right? That turning lead into gold. Enough of that to see, okay, that's the thing we want to be speaking from, that place of gold, not just from the place of lead. Now, that's not to say that we don't have more lead that we're transforming, but it just hits different. It hits different, and you're more of a catalyst for true transformation for people when you have catalyzed enough and you've transformed enough of your lead into gold. So we have our vibrational leaders who have the courage to step into this new vibration, who had the courage to walk their own path long enough, kind of in a way even be at times ostracized from groups, right? And ostracized from the norms of society at times, because they had the courage to stand with new perspectives and ideology, and to really lead from that place. So that's a really valuable role, and I think that we want to be seeing a lot more of those type of leaders in our community. And then we have the role of the vibrational empath. And vibrational empath is somebody who really knows how to step into understanding some of the reasons, the hesitations, fears, and difficulties people experience in creating that transformation. They're able to connect with them and be of service from the place of exactly what that feels like. I've been there. And I'm kind of matching you almost vibrationally to really support you through the process, right? A vibrational leader will never match the vibration that the empath will. And the reason is, I was sharing with my client on this the other day, how they prefer to be the lighthouse, to be the beaming light in the lighthouse, to say, here's what's available when you go through your turmoil in the sea that you're at. This is what's available. And it's not that I'm being lazy or arrogant or anything like that, but I want you to have something on the other side when you come, when you overcome what you do, and I'm holding this space for you, and I'm going to do it in a very nuanced and very active way. I'm not going to sit and bring the popcorn and just watch you and just, wish for the best for you. I'm going to help you, but I'm going to do it from this place. So don't be annoyed with me when you don't get to meet me as a friend, when I call you out on your bullshit, where I don't fall for the pitfalls that you might find yourself falling, because I've been there, I've had those pitfalls, I gave in to them, I know they didn't serve me, I know what's on the other side, I'm on the other side, I'm holding space for you. The vibrational empath sometimes gets annoyed with the vibrational leader because they're essentially feeling, no, hang on a minute, we're all on the same boat. We need to help these people. It's almost like you have the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. The Bodhisattvas were beings that essentially refused enlightenment because they felt like, I want to be enlightened when every single human on the planet gains enlightenment. That's when I'm going to accept my enlightenment, right? So they kind of held back from it, right? Because they wanted to be of service to other people first. And these roles are very vital, the vibrational empath and the vibrational leader as well. It's easy sometimes to kind of like judge one the other. But what I find is that it's really important to understand that the vibrational empath, really essentially, when we're empathizing with somebody, it's a lot easier to be porous to everything around us and everyone who's experiencing the circumstances that they're trying to get away from. So, it's part of our evolution and our journey as service providers and as service leaders, right? To go through these different stages. I experienced the vibrational empath journey for a while. I worked as a senior practitioner and as an assistant with vulnerable people with complex needs for a number of years. And it was the ultimate kind of level of support. For me, it felt like I didn't want to do anything else with my life. And it came a point where I felt like I was outgrowing that. And I think it's because I was utilizing those tools so much so that eventually I was starting to kind of seek out a new level of expansion and experience where the tools I was using to help others were coming from a different place, which is more associated with vibrational leadership. And so I want you to see where you suit yourself the most right now. And please don't judge yourself. It's totally, this is no hierarchy. We're not talking about a professional hierarchy. We're talking about an energetic, vibrational sort of condition, okay? And one that it just becomes a lot more natural over the course of our time as we're being of service to other people. And I want to mention the third stage, the pre stage of the empath and the leader, and that is the saboteur. And please understand when I share this with you today that I truly believe we are all three stages at different stages of our lives, and also even within a specific timeline in our lives. So say within your timeline, you will experience yourself a saboteur one day in your life, an empath on one day, and a vibrational leader. But I wanted you to understand that I might be sort of crudely putting out like three types of people. Of course, it's a lot more nuanced life than that. But I feel there's a purpose that it serves in understanding that, say with the saboteur, we all hold the patterns of sabotage inside of us. And it really is just a kind of like getting so sick and tired of those patterns in ourselves that we say, okay, I see that in myself. You start to have those glimpses of awakening within that. And you say, okay, why do I keep on doing? I keep myself small. I keep myself in the same stage, on the same level where I just kind of go over the same thing over and over again. And I hold myself back from expansion, growing, developing. So the saboteur will more easily lean into finding reasons, excuses, and opportunities to stop themselves, hold themselves back, and will give themselves very highly intelligent even reasons as to why they're doing that, why we're doing that. So, and I think that, we are coming at a time when a lot of the sabotage kind of blueprint is being awakened. A lot of people are awakening out of the sabotage blueprint. They realize where they're being responsible in co-creating a specific experience in their lives and the need for that to change. And that is such bloody good news. This stage of our development is such a good thing. So bear in mind me sharing those. Bear in mind when you're having conversations with people, the kind of roles you play, but also the kind of behaviors you receive when you share your expansion process, and people seemingly coming across as protecting you to perhaps stop you from doing that, in a way being saboteurs in what you're sharing. Because a lot of the times the motivations within that are a lot more complicated and nuanced and personal for people and unconscious. Be aware when you're becoming that for others and for yourself, but when you're becoming the empath in your support to other people, when you really have the courage to step into vibrational leadership, really understand, kind of see, have a sense into where those sort of 3 particular blueprints fit in your life, and feel what you want to move more towards, right? So if you're a saboteur, you probably are looking to kind of move out of that in a space of empathy, right? So if you've given yourself excuses, so many excuses about the people in your life that have sort of put you down or really not been supportive of you and your growth, maybe it's time to understand through empathy that actually, you know what, everybody has their stuff. Really, we are just responsible to make that shift in our lives. So it brings an element of vibrational leadership to make a shift from any one blueprint to the other, right? And to kind of just really understand where that's holding you back, right? And understand that we all hold those 3 blueprints at all times in our lives. Some of them will predominate than others. The more we become conscious about the process, about the fact that the ways those blueprints affect us, the easier it becomes for us to create the shift and the change and become that sort of inner alchemy, engage in that inner alchemy, that distillation of the alchemist, right? Sort of turning lead into gold and moving into that next sort of, in a way, I see it as level of responsibility, right? It's like that level of vibrational responsibility we take. That is essentially part of the alignment process I'm really strongly promoting to people, understanding that, you know, when it comes to what we call manifesting, when it comes to expansion, growth, success, all those things are really essentially, everything comes down to the process we have around, and the connection that we have with ourselves around the process of growth, and the level of responsibility and sovereignty we step into to address the very things, behaviors, patterns, conditionings that essentially, in a way, perpetuate a particular story. So I'm all for seeing that expansion, that growth happening. I feel like I'm seeing the psychically, you know, energetically, what I'm feeling is that the shift that the planet is going through right now is big. That's why there's so much heaviness in energy. I think there's a lot of awakening happening in the fact that a lot of people stepping out of the saboteur and victim part of themselves into that sort of like new space. Those in between spaces are very messy. And they're very, you know, kind of activate a lot of anger for people, a lot of sadness, a lot of grief. And what I want to say to you, be very conscious on yourself, the process of grief you have to go with yourself in your own life. Understand that there's a lot of people out there grieving silently right now about there's new aspects of awakening going on, and that there is, it's all happening because there is positive change and shift. But man, oh man, it's messy. So let's all be patient with each other through this process, and let's keep on talking.